Alright, alright. What's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, I'm taking a look at Ethereum, ETH, against US dollar Tether on the Binance chart. We're going to be taking a look at some of the technical aspects of price action moving forward, some short-term targets and forecasts, some key levels that we've been interacting with. So, I'm going to take a look at most recent price action above the all-time highs back in 2021, since breaking the $1,300 to $1,400 level. We've swung all the way up above 2,000 US dollars per Ethereum. Very high sell pressure came in. Big sell-off came all the way down, swing low of around 1,300. We bought back up, found support above the relative all-time highs at that point. But the pump produced a lower high, bouncing off of the $1,900 level. Significant sell-off and very sideways action for a few weeks. Lots of buy pressure in the $1,700 level, all the way down to the $1,720 level. There's tons of buy pressure, but too much sell pressure. We took over, and we eventually broke downward. We appear to be retracing in a downward breakout, but I suspect perhaps another interaction with this trend line along the course of time in the eventual continuation of the uptrend. This trend line I drew from back in March of 2019. Interacted with price action kind of down there after breaking out, pumping, and if you wanted to call that a retest almost. We broke downward way back in 2019. Fast forward, we are now interacting kind of with it again. So far, we're looking to see if we can interact with it again moving forward. There is very significant volatile price action above $900 all the way up to the $1,400 level. Very, very volatile sell and buy pressure until we eventually broke upward. But I suspect a continuation downward to potentially interact with the mid $1,300 range. When we turn on EngineeringRobo, we see a different perspective come into play. We have significant sell signals back in September of 2020 as we were very sideways. Interaction with the cloud. Buy 4 and Moon came in, ultimately suggested the cloud would close bullish. Eventually broke significant resistance, interacted with new ranges. Sell 4 for the sideways. Eventually the buy 4, we pumped all the way up, been pumping since. Sell 2, sell 3, sell 4, hell, all these crazy sell signals as we swing, dip down into the $1,300 range. Super buy 4, Moon again as we trade sideways, but we seem to be eventually breaking down. These buy signals suggest a lot of bullish momentum, but all these sell signals suggested this very apparent sell wall above 2K and around the $1,800 level. If we take a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin on the Binance chart, we are along support. We appear to be holding support. If we were to break down, I suspect interaction with levels near the 0.2 to 0.28 to 0.27 ish Satoshi level, perhaps, as Bitcoin kind of figures itself out, and as people would determine what they want to do with their Ethereum. Turn on EngineeringRobo. We see sell 2, sell 3, sell 4, hell, as we break downward from a trend line starting in January of 2020. We've interacted with it's kind of since breaking downward. Pump failed to interact with it again. We continued to fall. The cloud has now gone bearish, suggesting sideways or a break downward. Now, there's lots going on with Ethereum fundamentally. There is tons of Ethereum staked up and locked in projects. Plenty of new projects coming into the crypto space are launching on Ethereum. So fundamentally, Ethereum has plenty of room upward, in my opinion. Some significant Fibonacci levels to consider are the 0.382 and the 0.236 Satoshi levels around this fear zone. The FOMO zone, however, is another 322% from current price levels against Bitcoin's relative price. Another 322% on Ethereum right now looks like this. And that's what I believe everyone is expecting to see, or most people are expecting for Ethereum. Perhaps they were expecting that much sooner. But in the long term, I don't believe that to be too far-fetched. When we turn on EngineeringRobo's fear and FOMO zones and these Fibonacci levels, we see we have interaction with the FOMO zone. Very, very high sell pressure in this range above this red line here. Very, very high sell pressure. We eventually broke down, supported by other sell signals. Buy pressure was present, but near and in the FOMO zone, there was very, very high sell pressure. So ultimately, a bearish break downward is to be expected. But the FOMO zone, this line here, does not indicate an immediate top per se. We could have very easily, from this break of the relative all-time highs around $300, $1,300 to $1,400 level, we could have come all the way up into perhaps the $3,000 level before ultimately coming down. But in this case, we entered and broke downward in a shorter, more natural fashion. Sideways action is, I believe, welcome in an uptrend, healthy for the trend to develop. We are currently interacting with the 0.786 line. We have interaction with this 0.618 line as well. I believe this to be a key range we will interact with over the near future. If we were to hold this level around the $1,600 kind of thing, that would be very bullish in my opinion, and we could see prices take off sooner than later. But in the long term, fundamentally, I have targets for around the 10K level in the nearing decade, perhaps this year. But that being said, look out for EngineeringRobo's buy or sell signals. Watch price action closely as we are in a volatile state and range. Candles like these could open or close in either direction. So, thank you for tuning into my analysis. Subscribe here on YouTube and tune in for the next one.